Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Obiariri. I am here again to discuss our general poor attitudes, poor work ethics, poor work culture, and lack of proper maintenance culture in Nigeria. It's not just a government thing. In fact, there is this lethargic, irresponsible ways a majority of us in this country called Nigeria handle things. In 2009, 2008, I was part of the three-man team that our bank, then I was head of corporate finance in one of the deposit money banks, and our bank sent us on a tour of Namibia. We were in Windhoek for 12 days. I and two of my colleagues. Very beautiful city, capital of Namibia, Windhoek. And there is something that happened that really shocked me. In fact, I was in a car with one of the commercial attaches of the Nigerian embassy in Namibia. And I was telling her that I saw a road, a beautifully tarred road, no pothole. In fact, the simple thing that for the 12 days I was in Namibia, we drove around Namibia, even outside Windhoek. I did not see any pothole. I'm not exaggerating, I did not see one pothole on their roads. Beautifully laid roads, beautifully tarred roads. In fact, I got to a place I saw a beautifully tarred road, the kind of road that you will see in Nigeria that governors will put on clear light to launch. And I saw machines and other things doing new asphalt layover over that road. And I was worried. And I asked him, I said, this road is so beautiful. So why are they putting extra layers of asphalt on it? The woman started laughing. He said, Nemeka, this is not Nigeria. And as she said, they are in Windhoek, they are in Namibia. You know, when you build a road, there's always a period you say, okay, a social period, this road is due for social maintenance and all those stuff. That in Namibia, they don't wait for the roads to develop potholes and craters and valleys before they will fix it. That particular road, by the tenure of the work, is supposed to receive that facelift. So they weren't waiting for the road to spoil before they started doing that extra layer facelift. And that is 2008. And of my friend, my childhood friend, one of the topmost guys in Nigeria, an oil and gas magnate who worked in Shell for over 23 years, traveled to Texas. He did a tour, he traveled to Texas, and he came back. And we were just discussing. He was telling me that in Texas alone, they have over 200 refineries. In fact, he mentioned one particular group in Texas that owns refineries that do almost about 2 million barrels a day. Of course, Texas is one of the oil heavens in the US. He even mentioned to me that some of the refineries in Texas are over 100-year-old and they are functioning, they are doing so well. And I cast my mind back to Nigeria. Refineries were built by Gowon, between 1972 to 1976. Refineries that were built by Obasanjo between 1976 to 1979. Refineries that were built by Babangida between 1986, 88. Some of those are the refineries that have packed up. Refineries that are less than 60 years old are refineries that we've packed up in Nigeria. For over the past 25 years, none of the social government could repair those refineries because of the same culture of criminality, inefficiencies, poor maintenance culture in Nigeria. In fact, in 2005, see, let me tell you, when people talk about Obasanjo is a very smart man. I still say it, that since 1999, Obasanjo by mile is the greatest president that I ever ruled in Nigeria. Since if I didn't do his first term as a military head of state, Obasanjo did a lot of that. In fact, Obasanjo built a brand new refinery in 3 years as a military head of state. So when he became a civilian president, and after trying to fix those refineries, which of course they've wrecked before he came back, Obasanjo knew that those refineries will never work under the current public sector criminality and profligacy. He decided in 2007 to privatize two of them, the Warri and Port Harcourt, to the blues, because Kaduna, of course, we know that Kaduna can never be revived because of the stupid things that we did. How can you go and cite refinery? hundreds of kilometers away from source of raw material. And even the raw material that you intend to use to run it is a raw material you import from Venezuela. That is how stupid and irresponsible most some of our leaders are. Anyway, I don't want to digress. Obasanjo privatized those refineries. Of course, Yar'Adua reversed it. Since that reversal, those refineries have never worked. If Aliko Dangote and the Femi Otodola and the rest of the Blue Star Custom were allowed to take over and run that place, today we'll be talking about what we're talking about today. If I do that, I was privileged as an investment banker, head of project finance in one of the deposit money banks, to advise some of the investors from the buy side, those that bought NAFCON and petrochemical plant element. Petrochemical plant element was run down by the public sector. NAFCON was run down by the public sector. Petrochemical plant element, the Indians in Indorama took over that place. Go there and see what they are doing. They've done many trades after that one. We have a terrible war culture in Nigeria. Aliko Dangote started the refinery in 2017. Look at it. This refinery is working optimally. No stories. So, I just pray that some of us, even in our little corner, that is why you see somebody, you are driving a Range Rover, the car have an issue. Let me tell you, I have a mechanic, an engineer that maintains my cars. This guy will never cut corners. This guy will tell you your car is. In fact, there was even a time he told me my Range Rover said that the battery has a lifetime, a lifespan. Once that battery has gone to that, you must change it whether it is working or not working. I went to him. He told me, Doc, this your battery is due for change. And I asked him, which he said he must. That the original battery that came with the car is Bosch, and he must use Bosch. And I was looking at Bosch he was about 290,000. I said, but I can get a Korean battery now, the same Korean battery for cheaper. He said, Doc, it's you that is saying this thing. Don't even try to change it. If the owners of the car, the makers of the car say it is Bosch, Doc, let's use Bosch. I said, okay, go ahead, you are the expert. We bought Bosch, and I've never had issues. The car is maintained when it's supposed to be maintained. I will not go and change the bolts of the car and to use Toyota to replace it. Nigeria is the only place where somebody will tell you, if the fuel pump of the Range Rover is more expensive, go and use Toyota. We like doing stupid things. It's some terrible work ethics everywhere. I say it again. I repeat saying it. I will repeat again. The whites, the Britishers, the Americans, the Brazilians are not less corrupt than Nigerians, but they have a system that works. They have institutions that respect the rule of law and allow everybody to, there is nobody's above the law. You saw a sitting president of America, Joe Biden, even as a sitting president, his son was prosecuted. His son was indicted. A sitting president of the biggest, the most powerful man in the whole world, Joe Biden, could not interfere. He was so helpless. The only thing he did was when he was just going, he pardoned his son. That was the only power available to him. You don't dare try even the farthest cousin of the sitting president or even governor in Nigeria. That is our culture. We love impunity, we love corruption, we love inefficiencies. Our work ethics is so terrible. Average of us, only very few of us understand. Do it right. Do it right. There's no pain in doing it right. Do it right. If you're given an assignment, do it the way it should be done. If you can't do it, don't accept an assignment you cannot do. If it's beyond your pay grade, seek for help. I remember then in one of the deposit money banks, I was head of corporate finance, and they wanted to expand for me to have control of other subsidiaries. And we had a discussion with the management. But when I went back home, I sat down and I discovered that, yes, I'm smart. Nobody can take that away from me. Nemeka is an extremely intelligent guy. I knew I could do that job. But I also knew that there are certain areas where I have not garnered that experience. I went back to my MD and told them, I said, I have a former boss who was my boss way back. I think he will be in a better position to handle all these other subsidiaries. Why I also learn more under him. I submitted the CV, and they brought back my former boss from where he was to come so that both of us can work together to grow that group. I did not say, oh, out of greed, out of vanity ambition, let me accept and take over everything. When I know that I may not do it the way that my former boss, who had more experiences, if I was doing investment banking even before I entered secondary school, so I knew, and he's a very smart guy. May God help us in Jesus' name. Bye-bye now.